Brittany. So today's gonna be a popcorn chat video, and today we're going to talk about my favorite musical movie, The Phantom of the Opera. And I just love this movie. It's one of my favorites. And The Phantom of the Opera was released on December 22nd, 2004. And I believe at the time I was, okay, I'm trying to think, I was 13. Yeah, I was 13 at the time, and but I didn't see it in theaters when it came out. But I did saw the next year, the following year, 2005. But yeah, I remember renting it from, no, actually I got it for my birthday. Yeah, well, since we didn't see it, I didn't see it that year. I remember someone got it for me on DVD uh, for my birthday, for my 14th birthday in 2005. Yeah, that's right. But I remember even before I even got it for my birthday that year, I remember when I rented the movie from Hollywood Video, when both Hollywood Video and Blockbuster, when they were both very popular video stores at the time, and I miss those days. I miss that those two aren't around where you could just walk in and get a movie to rent, and where you can, by the time you're done watching a movie, take it back. Because at least you don't have to worry about buying something, like buying a movie that you may not like. So at least if you rent it and if you know you like it or not, then you'll know what movies you would want to get on DVD, you know. But yeah, anyway, man, too bad those aren't around anymore, because that could, I don't know. I mean, I know now we have Netflix and Hulu and everything, but still, you know, I don't know. I just think somehow maybe it would have been nice if they were back in business. But anyway, back to what I'm saying here. But just when they were back in business, at the time, I remember renting it, and when I first watched it, because I watched it with my sister and my mom, and so when we were all watching it, I remember the very first time I watched it, I completely fell in love with it. And to be honest, it's like one of those um, musical movies brought to life, from a Broadway musical into this very musical movie, that to me, I just loved everything, and I still do. And the the movie is directed by the late Joel Schumacher, and he also directed my favorite Batman movie, Batman Forever. And I will do a video on Batman Forever soon, but right now it's The Phantom of the Opera. So yes, he did such a really great job, directing a musical movie, you know, from from Broadway, um, putting this Broadway musical of The Phantom of the Opera into this amazing musical movie that just came to life, and with everyone behind the scenes, as well, and everyone on set, like on screen and off screen, everyone did such a good job. And I have to say, I think this probably was one of the first musical movies that Joel Schumacher directed. And if it's not the first, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it is. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to think who composed the music again. Oh, that's right. Wow, why am I forgetting? It's so obvious. Andrew Lloyd Webber, of course. I don't know, somehow my mind got distracted for a moment. Like, uh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But yeah, sometimes I get a little distracted if something comes up in my mind. So I'm so sorry about that. So yes, Andrew Lloyd Webber, he did such a great job with the music, both for Broadway and this movie. I mean, it's just truly amazing, and I love the cast. Um, they're great too, like Patrick Wilson, and for those who you may know, he's from the movies of Insidious and The Conjuring. But yes, before he even did Insidious and even before the Conjuring movies, he was in fact playing a character. He played Rao in The Phantom of the Opera, which was Christine's childhood sweetheart, but also her love interest. So, yep. And he actually has a good singing voice in that movie. He does, and I do like his character. He does play such a really great character, and he's like the good guy, and he loves Christine, and he'll do anything for her. But at the same time, I like, as much as I like his character, I can't help but to feel that maybe somehow he should let Christine make her decision whether if she wanted to be with him or the Phantom, because the Phantom seemed to have loved Christine too, and even though he may have shown it in a very strange um in a very strange way, it's like still I can see just how he had those feelings for her. So, she never got to make a decision for herself on that. But yeah, and Emmy Rossum, she was great as Christine Day, and she has a really beautiful singing voice. She does. And fun fact that when Emmy Rossum was playing Christine at the time, she was a teenager. I believe she was, I think either 15 or 16. I think she was 16. But with Patrick Wilson and Gerard Butler, both who played, with Patrick Wilson as Raoul and Gerard Butler as the Phantom, they were both in they were in their early 30s at the time. So, yeah, she had to kiss them both in the movie, even though she was like a teen at the time. So, wow. That must have been something, but it did seem like they got along pretty well, especially, behind the scenes. It seemed like, like with the interviews between Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson, and Gerard Butler, it did seem like they got along pretty well. Even they seem to have enjoyed and have fun working together. So it's good to see that. It's really nice to see how actors can be, how they can get so comfortable, and how they can get along so well, and just, you know, get along on set, and like being there for each other and asking like, oh, are you okay? Okay, I want to make sure you're okay. So it's good to see that. And yeah, with Gerard Butler, I especially love his performance as the Phantom. Now, of course, with now his real name is Eric, but you don't hear that in the movie. They call him either Opera Ghost or the Phantom of the Opera. But yeah, his character has a really dark past, as I mentioned in my movie review, which if you want to watch, I'll leave a link to that down below. But yeah, his character has such a sad and dark past, and because of that, he never had parents, and he never had a woman in his life, not even a mother figure to ever show love for him, to show care, respect, and love to him. And because of that, he grew up without a mother figure to ever show respect and to show to show care and love for him, that I think that's why when he did have those feelings for Christine and to try to show her how he loves her, that's why it comes off as, well, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, you know, that's why it comes off a little off when he's trying to show how he feels for her, because he never, like I said, he never had a mother figure that would have taught him, about, love and how you love someone and they love you back. Like, he never had that. And so that's why he does show Christine his feelings and his love for her, but in a very different way. It may not have been in the romantic way, like with Raoul, but it was more like in a hypnotic, a bit seductive kind of way. And but yes, I love his performance as that character, and he has a great singing voice. And his singing voice um of that role is just very, like, very moving, it's, and to be honest, I would say it's also hypnotic, but in a way that it just moves you, and you kind of feel like you're in this trance where you feel your emotions of what you're feeling at the moment, but it's very moving, and you feel that. You kind of feel like there is a drawn. It's like you feel drawn to the character that way. At least I know I feel that way. Was maybe many of you have felt that way as well. Um, for those who love the movie and the character, um, yeah, his performance is just amazing as Phantom, and it just moves me every time. It's just I just say, in other words, his performance, even his singing voice, like the way he does that, is just so moving, like I said, but it's also like, oh, what was the word I'm looking for? I had it. It was, I had it. Okay, so yes, his performance as the Phantom, with his acting and his singing, like, is so moving. It's like you feel drawn to it, you know. But it's also very breathtaking as well, and that's what I feel personally. I do. And now, fun fact: um, Gerard Butler shares the same birthday as me, November 13th. And when I found that out, I was like, well, like, I have no idea, but that is, wow, that's amazing. So yes, and let's see, with Minnie Driver as Carlotta, I like her performance as well. She did such a good job, but someone else sang her part, because she didn't sing, like, the singing parts of the movie. That was not Minnie Driver, but that was somebody else. But I have to say, she did played her character very well, especially because, I don't know, her character wasn't like a very likable character, because she wanted all the attention to herself, because she was such a diva, a drama queen. So yeah, it's like, oh boy, she was very she was very self-centered. It's like she would do anything to push Christine away from the spotlight, because she wants the spotlight all to herself. And just because to her, she thinks, oh, I have this amazing, beautiful singing voice. But actually, she doesn't. I think she has, I don't know, I think somehow she has some, I don't know, I think maybe her hearing's not right, because her singing is nothing like Christine's. It's not. It's hard to describe. But yes, she wants the attention, even though she may not hear it herself. That her singing voice isn't that great like Christine's. But yeah, like I said, other than that, she did such a good job playing that character, and I just love the setting of the story that it takes place. What was it now? When it shows the flashbacks in black and white, that was in 1919, I believe. Yeah, and I think where it shows way before Christine had passed, um, and before you see Ralph but much older and in a wheelchair, and when it shows the past where there's Christine and where Raoul and the Phantom and everything else that was going on at the time. What year was it? 1817? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think somehow I just remembered the year, but in case if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm real sorry if I got that wrong. Um, but yeah, I just loved the setting of the story and the year it took place around that time. And I also love how inside of the opera theater as well, and you see, you know how in the scene of Masquerade where you see this really nice staircase that just goes like that. I love that. I love staircases like that where it's very like old fashioned at the time. I love staircases like that because I don't really like modern staircases that we have today, because it's pretty much, you know, like this, like pretty much straight, and then you turn and go there. Like, I don't know, like I like the really old fashioned and unique staircases at that time, even the Victorian era. So, you know, that's just me. Um, but man, there's so much to say about this movie. I love everything about the cast, their performances, even their singing is just so great. And let's see, maybe I could mention some scenes here, and that's what popcorn chat is. You could talk about some scenes that maybe you like, didn't like, and what could have been different. So let's see. I would say maybe one. There's probably one scene I don't like, and that's the fact that when the Phantom, when he sees this guy, when he's you know, because below them was other actors on stage, and there's an audience out there. But you know how he was like chasing him from above, and he's like trying to get him, and then he has the rope in his hand, and then he puts the rope around the guy's neck, and he, you know, excuse me, he kills him, and after he kills him, he just lets him hang from the top to during the middle of the performance on stage, and everyone's screaming. Everyone on stage, the audience, and I did not like that. Now, even though that may not have been gory or anything, it's still disturbing. But yeah, I don't know. That's like the only part I don't like. I don't like to see anybody being killed, no matter what character it is, and no matter how they're being killed. I don't like to see that, especially like when it comes to the neck part. I'm actually quite sensitive when it comes to the neck, whether it's being hanged or, you know, like it's kind of like what the Queen of Hearts would say, like off with their head, like, oh, I'm real sensitive to that, and that makes me feel so uneasy. But yeah, that's the one part I do not like of the movie. But other than that, I mean, it doesn't change of how much I love this movie and the story. It's just that one part I don't like. And other than that, I love every scene, every part. And I have to say, another part I don't like is when he thought that Christine had came back because she chose him, and then he sings to her, Christine, I love you, but then she looks down, she looks sad, and then the engagement ring that Ralph gave to her, that he, no, that she gave to him, she gave it to him in the palm of his hand, but that was her telling him, I wanted you to have something of me, of mine, to remind you of me. And that is just so sad. And she doesn't say anything. She walks away looking sad because I think she does have those feelings for him, but I think she had to push them away or hide them deep inside because you do see how sad she looks. She walks away and he's crying and he's so heartbroken. And I remember the first time that I saw that, and seeing him sad, seeing him cry, it actually made me cry. Um, Now, of course, when I still see that part, I still feel like I feel very sad for him, and it makes me sad to see him sad because I feel like that there should be some character. If it's not Christine, then maybe there should be some character who can have feelings for him and who can love him for him, and that maybe if he were to feel the same way, that he can change to be a better person, not just for her, but also for himself. So, uh, it breaks my heart to see that. Like at the end, it's just sad. And there is a deleted scene though, if you don't know. There's a deleted scene where the Phantom sings, "No one will listen," and I've heard. Well, I don't really know, but someone mentioned that if they had put that scene into the movie, that the audience would probably feel even more. They feel bad even more for the Phantom, like they'll sympathize with him more. But like even though no one should because he kills people, he does bad things, even though he has feelings for Christine. I mean, on one hand, I understand that, but at the same time, even though knowing his actions aren't good, despite the fact that he had done things that were bad, and despite that he had probably killed some people, like that one guy when he was a child, and he escaped and lived in the opera house ever since, and when he killed that guy, when he hung the guy from during the play, despite what his actions were, it's like, yeah, I think his feelings and his love for Christine, I think somehow maybe that could have changed him to try to be better, to become a better person, and to become a better man, for himself. And so, yeah, this movie is just filled with many great things, singing and dramatic scenes, um, and this thing where you, like, for those who either ship Christine and Rao, or with the Phantom and Christine, but like I said, I can go on, and this video is going a bit long, but yes, I am sorry. But I just love this movie. I love everything about it, and I did have a dream about the Phantom of the Opera one, so if you want to see that, I'll have the link down below. So yes, and I did see the sequel to Love Never Dies, although it is on Broadway. But I will say this, for those who haven't seen it and who would want to see it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But even the ending, Oh, that one made me cry because it was so sad. Anyway, whoa, this video's going on for a bit long. I'm so sorry. So anyway, it's like I said, I truly love this movie. I have to say, ever since I first saw this movie, it became like my number one favorite musical movies ever. Which it still is. It's still number one, and it'll always be my favorite, like my number one favorite musical movies ever. Like, it's just the best. Like I said, it was done so well by everyone, behind the scenes, on set, and off set. Like, well, no, pretty much everyone on set, but I think what I meant to say was on screen and off screen. And yeah, like with Joel Schumacher did such an amazing job, and Andrew Lloyd Webber with the music, and everyone with their performances of their characters and the singing, like I say, everything, and I mean everything, was just done so well and put together, and it was done so beautifully. And this is truly an amazing, very moving and touching and beautiful story of this beautiful movie that I truly love and adore. I just love everything about it, and I can't help it. Like, I I would love to do a reaction video to one of the scenes. Yeah, this movie does hold a special place in my heart because I just love everything about it. Like I said, I could go on and on about it, but I already said what I had to say. But yes, Patrick Wilson as Raoul and Emmy Rossum as Christine and Gerard Butler as the Phantom. Like, oh gosh, amazing and so moving and breathtaking. Like, my gosh. So yes, it's just really like this wonderful, movie, and it's just so beautifully well done, and I love it. So, yes, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this popcorn chat video when we talked about the movie, and if there's anything you want to share about this movie, please feel free, leave a comment down below. Um, um, oh, I forgot to mention the songs. I'm so sorry. Let's see. I do like this. I do love every song, but I think my favorite song and scene from the movie is Music of the Night. That is just like so, I feel like that could put anyone in a trance because it's very hypnotic, and it's very like moving, where it just draws you in, and you feel that, and you kind of almost feel like heat on your back. At least I know with me, I do. Without fail, and that's because I know what it is that I feel at that moment of that scene, because it's so like moving. If you know what I mean. Like, it just like pulls you in, it draws you in, and it's almost like, since how he's like singing that to her, it's almost like if he's like singing that to you. So that's what I really love about it, and that scene. So anyway, my gosh, this is going on a bit too long. Okay, so that is all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.